Yes! Yeah!
Welcome, friends, to the Alpenglow Winter Speaker Series. Please give it up for your host, Brendan Madigan.
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Come on now. We got Dave Nettle. How you guys doing? Yeah. My name is Brendan Madigan. I'd like to welcome you to the fifth and final show of our 20th annual Alpenglow Sports Winter Speaker Series presented by the North Tahoe Chamber. Yeah, thanks. Hard to believe we're 20 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the one and only Dave Nettle. For those of you who don't know, Dave is the co-founder of this series, and he is the literal definition of a local legend. But before we begin, I want to acknowledge and have to acknowledge that a lot of us in the room are carrying a heaviness. Our community has experienced profound loss. This is the great thing about our community. You guys just got real quiet. The great thing about our community, we do this, but we've experienced a profound loss, and I think it's important that we hold space for that together. So to acknowledge and honor the Castle Peak tragedy, I'd like everyone to please join me and stand up. And put your hand on the shoulder of your neighbor, and if that's acceptable, you can grab their hand, if that's not too weird. And join me for a moment of silence. All right, thanks everybody. So what all of us have in common is the ability to meet each other with passion, patience, empathy, and compassion. And in time, everyone in the room will move forward in their own way, not by leaving those that we've lost, but by carrying their love and humanity forward with us. What endures is how they lived, how they loved, and how they made people feel. So let's honor these lives by living more deliberately, with more kindness and more connection. And I'm convinced if we all make a concerted effort on a daily basis, we can move the needle on all the BS and injustice that we see in the world. Truth. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our friends at the Tahoe Nordic Search and Rescue Organization. These are all volunteers who put their own livelihood on the line for major recovery efforts, and we just need to give them a big round of applause, please. Guys, we are super lucky to have you in our community. But you know what else we're lucky to have? A lot of throwouts. This is our last show. So we've strategically positioned a lot of people around the room, and you guys know the drill. The more noise you make, the more your percentages of winning something go up. So let's hear it. Throwers right here. Big Shane. All right, Shane, hurry up. All right, they're still going in the middle of the room. Shane. All right, sweet. Everyone should have gotten a beanie. Okay, let me see a quick show of hands. Who are the old heads in the room that joined these shows at the Sawtooth Ridge Cafe? Damn, a lot of people. For those younger than, say, 40, that's the Thai kitchen in Tahoe City. That's where we started. And the speaker series started as a scrappy passion project. I was in my mid-20s. I looked up to this like rock climbing god with a really epic mustache and really terrible cotton tube socks, which he still wears. But 20 years later, I'm psyched to tell you, I'm proud to tell you that the Winter Speaker Series has now hosted the biggest athletes, the biggest names in the outdoor and ski space. And along the way, yeah, it's epic, thank you. Along the way, you have raised over $3 million for the local nonprofit sector here in Lake Tahoe. So as we round out our 20th year, I'd like to thank all of you, whether you buy one raffle ticket or 100, one beer or a lot of beers, or you're a member of our donor party that this year alone has raised over $525,000. Please know it's an honor and a privilege to do this together, so give yourselves a big round of applause, please. Love how our community shows up. I'd also like to thank our presenting partner in the North Tahoe Chamber, a group that believes in the power of adventure storytelling. Please give it up for them. And of course, our generous hosts give this room to us, Palisades Tahoe. Come on, clap it up for them, you guys. Our friends at the Tahoe Fund, which work with multi-million-dollar, big-time, big-world projects. They've agreed to a $40,000 match, so every dollar you spent there technically is worth $2, so please give it up for them. And with that, I'd like to welcome my longtime friend and brother, Ben Grisecci, and his compatriot, Leanne Nall from the Tahoe Cross Country Ski Education Association.
Hello, my name is Ben Grisecki, and I'm the Executive Director for Tahoe Cross Country Ski Area and Ski Education Association. I would like to start with a little history of Tahoe XC. In 1975, Skip Reedy developed the trails, provided rentals, and accepted donations for his work. Skip is best known for his co-founding of the Great Ski Race. He ran the operation until the mid-1990s. In 1999, a small group of community members banded together and applied to run the ski area. From the very beginning, the mandates they had was to provide affordable programs for kids and their families, and to provide great grooming. The newly formed Tahoe Cross Country Ski Education Association went to work on programming, and many of the programs started in those early years still exist today. Taken together, the role of both Tahoe XC and SEA is to be of service, to provide affordable access to outdoor education and year-round recreation, building enduring connections between community and nature.
What I like most about the programming is it empowers kids to build skills, confidence, and a lifelong connection to the outdoors so that one day they might return as mentors and give back to the community that got them started. Strider Gliders is our most well-known winter program. It's introduced children ages 5 to 11 to the joy of cross-country skiing since 1999. For 6 weeks each season, kids enjoy after-school instruction focused on fundamentals, friendship, and fun. A local Strider Glider turned Olympian, JC Schoonmaker, returns each winter to Tahoe XC to lead kids in afternoon fun clinics. Financial assistance is available for families who need it. In the summers, junior mountain riders keep that outdoor spirit going. Kids build biking skills, confidence, and trail awareness. Older youth co-lead with adult coaches, gaining experience in coaching and community service. Free bike rentals are available for those without their own gear. Both programs embody our mission to make outdoor recreation affordable, inclusive, and deeply rooted in the community.
This is why we are so grateful and honored to be part of the Winter Speaker Series. The money raised tonight will allow SEA to deliver its mission with less reliance on subsidies from Tahoe XC, and to do what we already do, only better. In addition, the generous support of the Winter Speaker Series gives us a little breathing room to continue offering these top-notch affordable programs while we simultaneously finish work on Phase 1 and begin Phase 2 construction of our new lodge. Thank you all for dropping in tonight and advocating for the Tahoe Cross Country Ski Education Association and our mission and vision. We really appreciate each and every one of you and your support. Now sit back and enjoy the show from one of the best storytellers and true adventure seekers, Dave Nettle. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Let's give it one more time for Tahoe Cross Country, huh? Okay, before this $28,000 raffle giveaway, we've got to thank all of these amazing partners. These people and these brands keep this event free. And I'd like to call out, I don't have time to read all of them, but our longtime friends at Tahoe Mountain Realty, Jasmine comes and gives s'mores out to all the kids and gets them super sugar jacks, so thank you, Jasmine. Chris Tennant and Mount Lincoln Construction, who's been with us, I think, forever. Thank you, Chris. Daniel Cates at Technical Equipment Cleaners. Peter and Prosser Building and Design. And Silver Sage Sports and Fitness Lab. Please give it up for all these amazing partners, guys. Okay. Still trying to figure out how to use this damn thing. Okay, Kenzie, where are you? This is Kenzie Chappell, you guys. Kenzie belongs to, I know, I'm just making sure you know. Matt and Katie Chappell from the Truckee Dirt Union. Okay, and as you guys will remember, we have online prizes and in-person prizes. Don't forget, the pro tip is you can double dip in both. Obviously, those folks at home, they blew it by not being here, but they're going to still participate. So, our first prize bundle, $1,600. What color ticket should we pick? Yeah, don't look. Don't look. Close your eyes. Look away. Okay, Kenzie pulled a blue ticket. Who's got a blue ticket? 434697. 434697. All right, she's running. We have an excited winner with a lot of tickets. Come on, y'all. This is the last show. Let's give it up for this winner. She just won $1,600 worth of gear, we think. Okay, don't pull that name yet online. There's a ticket analysis going on. You guys, if you bought a lot of tickets, I can tell you the smartest thing to do is obviously remember the color. If you're colorblind, get help. But take the numbers on the last two digits on your tickets and just like write the range down, because then you don't have to do this and this. Did she win? All right, come on, let's give it up one more time. Okay, this is our first online prize bundle, $2,000. Let's see who our lucky winner is. James Robbins. Is that Jim Robbins? Is that Jim Robbins? Megan's dad? Where does he live now? Montucky? Yeah? Okay, congrats, Jim. Thanks for playing all the way from Idaho. Okay, prize bundle 2. $1,600 worth of goodness. Arc'teryx, Jewel Bow, Black Diamond. Come on, girl. Got a show to get to. Okay, what ticket you guys want? What color? Okay, that's sweet. I got a yellow ticket. 875-599. 867-5309. 875-599. Going once. Winner? All right, come on, come claim it. What's your name? No, the other winner. Let's give it up for Morgan. All right, next up. Prize bundle number 3. This is another online package. You guys see those black diamond skis? I think we have skis with every package. Okay, let's see who our online winner is there. Christine Schwartz. Is Christine here? Is she here? Christine is the better half of Jim Galetto, epic climber in his own right. All right. Next up. Did we do that one? Is this accurate? Yes. Okay. So, $1,700. What color ticket, you guys? What color? I got green. 423-606. 423-606 going once. 423-606 going twice. Tim Hauserman, come on now, give it up for Tim. I can't see that. They'll check your ticket. Yes, you have to learn how to downhill ski. Don't hurt yourself. Okay, next up, prize bundle number 4, more black diamond skis. Thank you, Dan Dixon. You're a legend. Arc'teryx backpack, a day past Palisades, and more goodness. What color you guys want? Who's got green tickets? Okay, 303-717, green ticket. 303-717. Sue Ray, hot damn. Sue Ray said, I had so much Chardonnay, I can't see it. No joke. Okay, next up, prize bundle number 5, Kesley skis. You guys know Tom Lane? Legend, he always gives us so much gear. Thank you, Tom. $1,900 of goodness. What color ticket? What's that? I love your enthusiasm, blue tickets. I have a blue ticket. 435-722. Someone said no. 435-722, going once. Going twice. It's one of them. Is that Alex? Holy cow. This is Mogrog Rotisserie, guys. Give it up for Alex. Bro, she's got you. The Unimog food truck. Thank you, Alex. Alex has supported us for tons of years. If you need a caterer, he is the jam. Okay, next up. This is our online grand prize. $3,000. Holy cow. Anna Sullivan. Does anyone know Anna Sullivan? Yeah? Is she here? Are you here? Holy cow, give it up for Anna Sullivan, you guys. And guys, I learned something last time. You might have remembered I said something super rude to our online grand prize winner. I said, we have nothing for you. I honestly thought that was the case. We obviously have prizes, so you can come here and still win the online grand prize. Congrats, Anna. Okay, we're getting into the good stuff. Guys, this is our Patagonia $1,000 women's shopping spree. Skis, jewel bow goggles, tons of goodness. Jason Telford from Patagonia, thank you. You are a legend. Okay, what color are you guys? Patagonia shopping spree. Who's got a pink ticket? All right. 027584. Pink ticket. 027584 going once. July. Come on, girl. Congrats. Those skis are way too short for you, though. We'll see what we can do about that. Okay, so I think we might be getting towards our grand prize. This is our men's $1,000 Patagonia shopping spree. Thank you to Forefront. If you've never skied the Hoji, you need to give yourself that experience in powder. Heated socks, jewel bow glasses, Osprey backpack, Mountain Gazette, $2,700. Who wants some of that? What color, you guys? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Okay, who's got a purple ticket? Purple ticket? This is where I tell you there's also a $2,000 gift certificate taped under someone's chair. Who's got a yellow ticket? Yeah, now we're talking. Who's got 875 in their range? Okay, you're in the mix. How about 9, 7, 0? Yellow ticket, grand prize, 875, 970, going once. 875, 970, going twice. Come on, yellow tickets. 875, 970, going 3 times. Okay, we're redrawing. Okay, can we just have a moment for Kenzie, please? Kenzie also found like 400 tickets that someone had dropped, and she like totally politely brought them over to us to make an announcement, so kudos, girl. Okay, yellow tickets, who's got them? I've got 536. Who's in the running? 2 people. 536, 056. 536, 056, yellow ticket, going once. Holy cow, Morgan, did you just win again? Well, shoot, Morgan, double winner, come on, y'all, give it up. All right, thank you to all our amazing sponsors, our amazing partners, and a thank you to Kenzie. Okay, Dave Nettle, you guys, you ready for it? Dave Nettle is a veteran alpinist and adventurer with more than 80 years of climbing and skiing backcountry experience. It might be a typo. Dave has climbed and skied all around the globe, of course, heavily in the Sierra, but also in the Alps, the Himalaya, Patagonia, Baffin Island, and more. And while many of us climb and ski in the Sierra, Dave has built his entire life around it. He is literally a true Sierra legend. He's laughing. And in a sport increasingly shaped by sponsors and social media, Dave instead has shaped the actual spirit of this community, this awesome mountain community. He represents a much older generation that has passed knowledge down through, jokes aside, relationships. They're vital, not through devices. Nothing wrong with devices, but Dave does it different. Dave's held in the highest regard by his fellow alpinists and is, in my mind, a cultural elder of this mountain community. He's known for his expert storytelling, which if you haven't heard a Dave story, you're in for a treat. Equal parts humor, dad jokes, honesty, and decades of expedition experience. Please give it up for the man, the myth, the legend, Dave Nettle.
All right. Thank you. Don't go away. All right. That is quite the introduction to live up to, and I really appreciate being here and part of the elder group. But Brendan is not going to get off the hook. Before I start, what we have here started a long time ago. Storytelling, in-person storytelling has been a big part of my life. As soon as I got to Tahoe, Brendan, don't walk too far away. You got to get back up here. This is something unscripted. He has no idea what's about to happen. But to take a concept like we had in 2005 at the Sawtooth Ridge Cafe with 40 seats, where it was very easy to get standing room only, by the way, and be here today with this, the energy, the fact that it's still growing, 20 years later is amazing. Just being able to organize climbers and skiers to show up and speak is an incredible effort. And so Brendan and his crew at Alpenglow Sports have done a remarkable job, and we want to acknowledge that tonight. So Brendan, if you could step on up here. We have a little something for you. I should actually be standing on the stage while I present this.
Yeah. This is unscripted.
And this is the crew that backs him and that makes this happen, the crew at Alpenglow Sports. So we want to acknowledge not just this slideshow and what's happening here tonight, but his dedication, outstanding dedication and contribution to our community. There's a bunch of other stuff written here that I don't have my glasses on. But I helped write it, so I know it basically says, thank you for what you've done, not just for the art of storytelling that we're keeping alive here with our group, but also for the fundraising and for reaching out to our nonprofits.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hand this off to Dave.
Oh, wait, Dave, it's not over yet. On behalf of Alpenglow Sports
Oh, no, it ain't over.
and our
ain't
20th
over.
anniversary, I'm gifting you with this amazing plaque that says,
Wait, what?
"You still do not climb hard enough."
That's right. All right.
Guys, I do have to say a heartfelt thanks to Dave and all of our team for making this event happen, because literally Dave saw strengths in me that I didn't know existed. Thank you. All right, let's get on with this show.
Okay. Well, there's another little thing we're going to present to Brendan. And there's a story behind this. So, as some of you might remember, in the early days of this program, I was the MC. I got up here and had a chance to ham it up and give a show or whatever. And when we decided to transition it,
Forced me.
it was an arm twisting at first, and he was really nervous, and the only way that he could get through his MCing was with a little help from his friend here, a little wee bit of the Scottish. So in commemoration of that, and this also takes responsibility off of my future slideshow here tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
All right, enjoy the show, everyone.
We're ready to go now. All right. The hairstyle hasn't changed. Okay. Okay, we're live here. Okay, beautiful. This is kind of the opening shot of Angel Wings, but I think everybody realizes, if you've come to some of these shows before, I love skiing, and skiing is a big part of my life, but I'm a climber who skis. And so tonight I've decided that we're going to do, God, that's a bright light. We're going to do a slideshow on rock climbing, but with kind of a fun twist. It's kind of going to be a then and now, not like a whole retrospective of all the stuff that I've been messing around with, but kind of like where I was at around 2005, and then this last summer, bringing it up to date. Kind of the scope of this whole the speaker series. So a lot has happened in our lives and in the world from 2005 until today. Politically, socially, technology, environmentally, you can see that like glaciers are receding and disappearing. But probably the most dramatic thing that has happened right around 2005 was the complete, total disappearance of the mustache that I had had for 30 years. This might be climate change or global warming, I'm not sure, but that was then, this is now. The hair remains the same, but I don't know. So anyway, we're going to kind of dip into a little bit of the past here in the Sierra Nevada then. Actually starting at 2004, kind of cheating the dates just a little bit because of the significance that this place played in my life. And still does to this day. This is the Incredible Hulk, just a couple hours south of us. One of the most beautiful granite features that has just naturally clean, beautiful rock to climb. And it was also the year that I got teamed up with my buddy Peter Croft that ended up completely reshaping my life and the things that I did climbing. It was already well established as a legend for his climbing, free climbing, soloing. Back before it was a big media thing, he just quietly was crushing things. And some mutual friends said, you guys should get together. He's a great climber. Nettle, you're crazy. The two of you can do good things together. And so I actually have a little laser pointer here. I think we can do it. So I had actually been pretty active on the Hulk prior to 2004, and you can see some of the main features are these beautiful corners. I had climbed a nice line up here, one that ended up becoming somewhat of a classic. We called it the Sunspot, the classic positive vibrations. But there was this one corner that I had kind of delved into and tried to climb and got to a point where it just was a showstopper. Could not figure out how to get through this. And so it was this that I tempted Peter to go and try to free climb together. And we got Greg Epperson, one of the prolific photographers of the time, to basically climb alongside of us on fixed ropes and photograph it. So this is not drone footage, by the way. So we had a great time. Swapping leads, and it was a first date. So, we were trying to get to know each other and had climbed up through the steep lower sections that I had been on before into some beautiful corners, and Peter was just loving it. He had never climbed at the Hulk before, and now it's like become one of his favorite places to go. Just beautiful corners and climbing, some 510, 511. And finally got up to where I'm belaying down there. That was my previous high point. And there was this blank corner that we knew we would have to bolt. But even bolted, just could not figure out. That's actually kind of what we sounded like. That's what my nerves sounded like. We would have to bolt this blank corner and do some wild stemming, which was one of Peter's fortes for sure. Still is. And so began to push the route up further and further beyond where I had been before into what we kind of called this mystery stemming corner here. Absolutely spectacular. And then the way that he and I worked together is I would go first and bolt the route, kind of making the moves, but then having to hang and work it, clearly above my pay grade in some ways. And then I came to learn that it was serious time when Peter pulled his shirt off. That was like, usually you would watch him climb and you couldn't tell if it was an easy climb or a hard climb. He always moved smoothly. But when the shirt came off, it was probably 512 or harder. Well, we got through those couple crux sections, And again, like I said, on a first date sort of thing, he's like, okay, we're swinging leads. It's your lead. And it was this blank corner. And man, the pressure was on. And, you know, again, this is a first ascent, so we have no idea what the difficulty is going to be. And I kind of started wiggling. I got myself into positions that if I did now, call 911 because it's going to be desperate. And even got to the point where I was like starting to seep blood on this little crack. And about 10 feet from where the difficulties eased off, I popped off and was hanging there. I was like, oh man, I can't believe that. Because we had no idea the difficulty. Lowered down, and Peter's like, okay, I'll take over. And so he jumped on up, and again, he was like one of the top climbers really in the world at that time. And it was great watching him go up there, but then starting to pause and hesitate and make some little sounds that I hadn't heard up to that point. And he finally got to the top, and when we finally rejoined, he goes, that was actually one of the harder pitches. You did all right. And I felt like the little kid, like, okay, do I get a little pat on the head? And he was also psyched because at that point, when it got back to my lead, it would have been very easy to cut 20 feet to the left and rejoin an easy existing route, and I had cut right. And anyway, what ended up happening is we got back onto the existing route, joined up with it, got to the summit, and it was clearly bonded. It was like an amazing day. We had established this great route. We called it Airstream just because the Hulk gets all sorts of wind that blows in there, and all the routes were kind of starting to end up with these wind-type names. And it was a great effort. And so we're up top there, and like I said, we hit it off, and Peter's like, what's next? And I'm like, thank you for asking that, because I've had my eye on something that I've been beating my head against for about 10 years, and that was this amazing line that would start here, more or less, doesn't matter. I can make it up, you won't know the difference. And then right up this blank section into this little slot that we ultimately called the Venturi, where all the wind that would hit the face would go right up into that. And so I had ventured, gradually pushing this a little higher over a while. It was great. Back then, you didn't feel rushed. You're like, we didn't get it this year. We'll come back in 5 years. No one will be here. I had played around on this with Glenn Polson, with Mike Carvel, but we just hadn't been able to crack the upper sections. And so was able to wrangle Peter into that. And you can see here just this was like right up in his alley, this wide stemming stuff that, like I said, that would hurt right now. But he was stoked, you know. It was just two guys out climbing on this one, no photographers, just having a good time, opening up new territory on this beautiful chunk of rock. And so we reached my previous high point, and we were able to forge up into, you can kind of see that sun shadow area there where it all joins up at the top. That was the Venturi, and that was where kind of the unknown was going to be. And we kept swinging leads, and then finally got up to this one section here that ended up becoming one of the 512 crux sections that led across this blank and linked up with that Venturi in there, and ended up becoming a route that to this day still is considered somewhat of a classic. Peter actually went on to come back later and add an extra pitch at the top for an additional the finish there. So now we're going to 2005. This is 20 years ago. This is Brandon Thaw. He's in the audience right here. Where are you? Yeah. You're going to see throughout all of this that really what makes the magic of climbing happen are the partners that you share this with. And Brandon is awesome. When you talk about going climbing, that look of stoke is still there today in the audience. And when you talk about the possibility of a new route, something happens with his eyes. He gets this devilish glow, and he's like, let's put up new routes. And so one area that neither one of us had really explored was the Upper Castle Rock Spires. So in 2005 in May, we went. And if you have any doubt that this was actually 2005, this picture proves it, because in 2006, they outlawed those shorts. Especially tucked in. Yeah, that is a style that's not coming back soon. But we got in there and we're excited. It's a place you have to go early season because there's not much water. A lot of times you're just living off of little trickles of water or snow patches. But you make the effort, you hike in from Mineral King, you pop through this gap near this beautiful granite that on its own would be great, but then you enter into this magic land of the Upper Castle Rock Spires. And so this is the view looking at it kind of from its eastern side. And the western flank are 1,000 to 1,200 foot faces lined up across there. And again, not that it matters, but for those in the audience interested, we have the Axe, South Guard, I think also known as Sleeping Beauty's Tower, and then Little Spire here. And this was the area that was kind of on our list to go in and check out. And so it's a bit of an approach to get in there, but once you get in there, the climbing is great. This route that we were doing was actually a route that had been climbed previously, but we had very little information about it. So it almost felt like we were putting up a new route. We had heard that there was a big tension traverse that you had to do to like swing across to another crack that we were able to free climb and worked our way on up. And as we climbed, we began to look at this other spire, Little Spire, and you can imagine that sun shadow line definitely got our attention. And so as we're climbing this one route, we're thinking, we might need to go over there in the next couple of days. And so we finally climbed up, got to the summit. Clearly somebody had been there before. There were some rocks piled up, and this was classic. The only thing in the register was this note from 20 years earlier. And I think Brandon collected the 25 cents, and that has made a whole difference in his financial stability today. And from the summit was actually amazing because you could look off towards the Great Western Divide and some of the formations that would end up playing a huge role in my life in the future. Angel Wings here, looking across at the Prism, Sabre Ridge with its iconic quarter-mile-long knife blade ridge. Just amazing country of granite and possibilities. And so we climbed this route. We ended up freeing the small aid section on South Guard. So backcountry climbing with Brandon is a whole unique experience. It's not about the culinary side venture. He gets most of his shopping from outlet stores or expired foods. And you can see on the right, those are all packets from Taco Bell that he would drop in, kind of look around. Can we help you? No, I'm good. Got to make that tortilla taste spicy. So anyway, and you picture these, nowadays you picture climbers and it's all high tech and drone footage and everyone's wearing all this technical equipment. Back then, Brandon and I, when we would go in, we wanted to focus all our weight carrying on our gear. So it was more like we camped like hobos, It's it was definitely just kind of living off the land, but we loved it and we still do to this day. So we headed over to Little Spire with the idea of climbing this ridge on the right up to that beautiful arete. And you can see here he's super stoked. He was at that stage in his life where I was his mentor. So you can see he's wearing white socks. I'm not sure he's going to be caught with that nowadays, but back then he's oh, Nettle's wearing white socks. I guess that's what you do. But we went on up and had a great time. Beautiful, just crisp granite, kind of golden flakes right along the edge of this arete. Looking down the arete here, you can see the last pitch, just gorgeous features. And then the final moves up to the top. And this is one of those summits on Little Spire that you're on the summit. There's not a lot of room. You're not walking around bumping chests and doing high fives. You kind of take turns on the top with your summit picture. Absolutely spectacular. And from there, we were able to look across at the third formation, the one that we hadn't climbed on that trip, called the Axe. And it wasn't until 5 years ago, I think, 4 or 5 years ago, he and I returned and put up a beautiful technical line up that face. I think a 9-pitch, beautiful 511 route on the axe. So an amazing place. And we knew we weren't the first people up on Little Spire, and partially because there were some rappel anchors already in place from the original route. We were just trying to decide whether or not to replace the slings. This might have been from 1947. And for me, a big part of this, as you guys are going to see throughout the presentation here, is experiencing it, sharing it with friends, and then trying to record it. You know, not that it's that important, but it's fun. I would make a few notes, sometimes just remembering, and then scratching together a little what we call a topo, kind of basically a recipe for future climbers if they wanted to see how to get to the top there. So 2005, midsummer, that was in a period of time in my life where the thing was to leave Tahoe at 2 in the morning, drive all the way down to the Eastern Sierra, hike 4 hours in, do a route, and get back in time to work at Alpenglow Sports in the morning. And by 2005, I was still doing that a little bit. And so in midsummer with my buddy Paul Adams, who's also in the audience here somewhere, many adventures together. So we headed down, did the 4-hour hike in with the intention of climbing on the southwest side of Mount Russell, right next to the Mount Whitney area. Just gorgeous rock. And as you get up near the base of it, you can see that this is just a crack climber's paradise. You've got the mithril dihedral, you've got star trekking, and then you can't quite see it. It's just right off to the side, around the corner is the Bloody Corner. So that's kind of what we were heading in to do initially. And so, but you want to start off that day well supplied with something, to get you through the day. So for breakfast, we each had a big one. You got to get the big one. So on the Bloody Corner, it starts off with kind of a moderate pitch, and then a long pitch of 510 climbing up beautiful corners here. And the way that it works out, when you start these climbs with your partner, with your best friend, you kind of decide who gets the first lead. Sometimes you agree on it. Sometimes you Rochambeau. Sometimes you put a rock behind your back with one hand. Whoever gets the rock gets the lead. There's all this mumbo-jumbo climbers do. But Paul got the draw to lead the crux pitch on this route. And you can see him racking up, anticipating 160 feet of splitter, 510 corner. And with a name like Bloody Corner, you're thinking it's either going to be some horrendous wide thing that eats you alive, or the first team that climbed it looked up and go, that's a bloody corner. And so I think it was the latter. Anyway, Paul jumped into it. Beautiful climbing. There he is doing moves that might be a little harder to do today. Full splits up at the top. And summiting up, just super stoked at the summit of Mount Russell. So even though we had driven down from Tahoe, hiked in 4 hours, and climbed this, we're like, the day is young. So we rappelled back down the route star trekking, turned around, and climbed 4 pitches of 510, just of beautiful climbing. This is a topo of Bloody Corner, and this is topping out again towards the afternoon now. And it was kind of funny because we were climbing up. This was now our second route of the day with a long drive, a long approach. And there was another team across the way on the Fishhook Arete, another beautiful Sierra Classic. And I'm not sure if I'm remembering it right, but we were kind of yelling back and forth. And they're like, you must have gotten an early start from the lake. And we're like, nah, yeah, Lake Tahoe. So anyway, a great day for sure. And summiting Mount Russell for the second time that day. Having climbed the route, star trekking, beautiful. Not a super long, but just gorgeous climbing. And from the summit, you get this great view looking off to the west. And off to the west, some of the beautiful features are the whole Kauai group. You can see it's darker than all the others, not great rock climbing, but beautiful kind of like mountaineering. But way off into the Great Western Divide, where Angel Wings and northward in Kings Canyon, where this beauty lies waiting. Bubbs Creek Wall, a 2,000-foot wall, about a 7-mile hike in from the west side out of Cedar Grove. And I had already spent a fair amount of time on this chunk of rock, but I was able to talk Peter into coming back and trying to free climb a route that Brandon and I had put up that still had a few sections of where we had to aid climb, where we had to pull on equipment to get through because of the difficulty. And so we took actually pack horses on in, which was great, carried a bunch of equipment in for us, and we had the topo, basically the little map that I had drawn from the first ascent that Brandon and I had done, and kind of going over it with Peter and going, okay, this is where we might be able to like make a variation and put up a 17-pitch free route on Bubbs Creek Wall. So Peter was loving it. Again, we had Greg Epperson there. When Peter was getting onto a project, a lot of people were interested in it, so it was super fun to have Greg coming in there to photograph this. So a lot of these photos are from him out there on a rope. And Epperson, or Epi as we called him, had this credo where he would never say, hey, stop, let me take a picture of you doing this, or can you go back and do it? He was like a climber with a camera. If you didn't get it on the first shot, you didn't get it. And so it was great to be working with him. And having already climbed the route, it was kind of fun giving Peter the beta and setting him up for some of the pitches that he was leading. This was affectionately called the fish taco flake. And when Brandon and I first climbed it, it was like 30 feet of unprotected, greasy underclinging before you came around the corner. And we kind of talked to Peter and go, what do you think? Do you think this needs to be protected? And he's like, yeah. And so this route now has a bolt halfway across there, which I was very happy to have. But on our first ascent, we didn't know. We were just like, well, we don't want to seem like we're like lightweights. And you're just panicking. But it was fun being on this project with Peter, freeing a route that we had climbed 8 years before. And even just going back onto a climb that you had done 8 years prior was kind of a mystery tour of rediscovery. So this whole route that we called Samurai Warrior was kind of like characterized by these beautiful corners that would go on for hundreds and hundreds of feet of jam cracks and liebacks and stemming and just really engaging climbing. And getting up to a point now where there was the first section where Brandon and I had actually kind of done a pendulum over into a beautiful free climbing crack, but we wanted to avoid that pendulum. We wanted it to be all free. And so this was a section where Peter and I worked on it and basically developed a free route. And part of it revolved around this one section of about 100 feet of extremely thin crack climbing, which Peter is good at all types of climbing, but he is a master at this thin crack climbing. And this was like the area that he was able to kind of break through. And it was a real pleasure to follow something like that rather than lead it. And I'm just hanging on for dear life at that point. But that's a pleasure, you know. It's really humbling and a pleasure to climb with somebody who's at such a level. And so we got to the next section where Brandon and I had gone to the right and had to do a little bit of aid climbing to get through a section. And we were able to kind of contrive a route that went straight up through this amazing, just rippled golden granite that was extremely steep, consistent 510 and 511 climbing, but on just splitter holds. And one of the finest pitches, and it was wonderful to have led it initially and placed all the gear, and then to go back and follow it with Peter. So we finally got through the sections that had previously really been the big aid sections. We were back on the route that Brandon and I had put up years before, and a classic Sierra storm started brewing up. Not at the right time. We still had about 6 pitches to go to the summit. The first few sprinkles were starting to hit the rock, and we knew that there was one more section. It was only like 12 feet long, but it was 12 feet of blank face that we had bolted but hadn't figured out how to free climb. And so I remember standing there as the rain is coming in, and Peter up there, he would make a move, and then it wouldn't work, and he'd come down, and he'd go, did you already do that? Did I try that? Did I try that? And we're just like riffing back and forth, and then all of a sudden I just see him like kind of Houdini his way up and make the move just as the first rain came in, and we got to the summit. And of course, after all that, then in the afternoon it clears up. But this really sealed a friendship, sealed a partnership. We went on to do many, many other climbs and still do to this day, and established this route on Bubbs Creek Wall, and has actually had gained enough attention where this last summer, a good friend of mine, Townsend Brown, actually went back and single-handedly, basically, what would you call it, cleaned up the route. Because when you put up a climb like this for the first time, you're just trying to get up in many ways. And he went back and kind of cleaned up some areas where maybe was a little run out or a little dangerous. And it's now considered to be kind of like one of the classics of the Sierra Backcountry. So now, imagine you have whisked your way 20 years forward now. That was then, and that was all happening when this slideshow series was just beginning. And so now, this is last summer, we're going to call it now, with just a couple of quick trips here to the Wind River Range, which I consider kind of our Sierra Nevada like sister, a beautiful granite range. And you can see here I've upped my partner choices. So no more scraggly bearded dudes on a small ledge. No. So my girlfriend Rochelle and I headed out to Wyoming to the Wind River Range. And this is one of those trips that we call the pleasure trip. This is what, rock climbing in its greatest sense is all about, is like the full experience. And so you can see here we've packed all the essentials. I think there actually is some climbing gear in there that is going to be horse packed in about 6 miles into a base camp where we're going to spend a week. Yeah. Those boxes on the left are weighted to hold down the tent fly so they don't blow away, at least when they're full. And it's great. It was a really fun way to start a trip. I highly recommend it. You start at the Diamond 4 Ranch. They've got these cabins, super fun, comfortable. You have dinner and breakfast with the wranglers and other guests that are in there, mostly to fly fish and have a good time. So it was fun kind of being the two climbing celebrities. They're like, what, you're going back there to climb rocks? Why? Don't you know there's fish in the lakes? So what's pretty fun about this for me is I had been in the Wind River Range, a half a dozen times on different trips up the North Fork in towards the Cirque of the Towers, Cirque of the Moon, Monolith Cirque, the Cirque of the Sun, all these wild, crazy places. But I had never been into the Cathedral Cirque. So it was fun not only going in with Rochelle, but also exploring some new territory. So we hike in, we find a great campsite, stand around until the horses roll in. Our horse packer, wrangler gal, super awesome, just drops everything off, and you set up your camp. And this is like base camp for a week. Everything carried in for you by horses, super fun. One of the benefits of horse packing, you're not eating dehydrated food. Really good stuff. So we went in there to climb, but the Wind River Range is famous for its fly fishing. And so Rochelle had done a little bit of fly fishing, but it was kind of a new thing for her. So we're casting along, and she's kind of getting the hang of it. And I caught a beautiful trout pretty much early on. Let that little puppy go back in, but fun to catch, fun to be out there with her. And Rochelle's like, man, I want to catch a fish. She's so psyched. She's like, I think if I wade 3 feet out in the water, that's going to give me a better chance. And she's fly casting and throwing things around. And finally she's like, I got one. And I'm like, bring it in. And she's just like, oh my God, I feel terrible. It's so tiny. What do you do with this? Oh my God. She's like holding it out. Like, I don't want to hurt the little thing. So we managed to get the hook out and send him off there. But yeah, her first big catch, it's like, I don't think we need to stuff it and put it on the mantle. We're good. So the fishing was great, but we had come to climb and to try to establish like what I would consider a moderate pleasure route. And so on the hike in, I had seen this 600-foot buttress of granite that kind of had that nice angle that you see in Tuolumne Meadows, where it looks low angle until you get on it. So experiences had kind of taught me this is where we want to go. And so we headed on up, and it turned out to be a beautiful, just consistent slab of gorgeous granite, not flaky, just right off the bat, beautiful climbing. And we got about 4 pitches up, and a classic afternoon thunder shower, just like we get sometimes in the Sierra. Came in, and we came rushing back down, rappelled back down, and got to camp. And again, having that great base camp is wonderful. Hanging out, reading, playing cribbage, lightening up the tent, holding down boxes, those sorts of things. And after a couple of days, it cleared up. This is a view from our camp at Middle Lake in the Smith Lake Valley. And that's Cathedral Peak with some amazing climbing potential there. And the 2 valleys which kind of played a role in this trip was on the North Fork heading up to the right, and then up to the left towards the Upper Cathedral Lakes. So the one thing that's nice about like having just gone halfway up that climb was that we were able to find a much quicker way to get to the base of the route. And from the trail, it was literally 20 minutes until we were standing right at the base of the route. Super accessible, super beautiful rock. And so we jumped back on, quickly climbed up to our high point, and then continued on up on pitches 5, 6, and 7. And this is up near the top. Just you can see the quality of the rock, and just a great pleasure, leisure day, no rush, sunny, great weather, and then rappelling back down, looking off at Smith Lake and off towards Cathedral Peak, a stunning background to climb in. And then heading back to camp, just the camp life, you know, hanging out and saying kind of like, well, what's next? What should we do? And so we decided that what we were going to do is like explore these upper valleys and just do some hiking and check out some of these other amazing granite features, some of them without roots on them. It's definitely doing a little prospecting for the future. And so we worked our way all the way up to the North Fork of this little cathedral cirque, and finally getting up to the top, looking back down and around. And at the pass at the top, having this amazing view out to the Continental Divide and some of the other classics. My buddy Reuben Shelton and I had climbed back here. You can barely see it, but the north face of Mount Hooker and Musambaya, granite all around, beautiful lakes. The Wind River Range is certainly an amazing place to visit. And so we were up here at this point where we actually hiked up onto a plateau where the Bears Ears Trail intersected. And a storm was brewing, and the logical choice would have been turn around and go back down the way we'd come up. We'd be back to camp in 2 hours. But we were like, you know, we're kind of getting a little low on perishable supplies. So we ended up instead hiking 15 miles down around the range, all the way back to the trailhead, driving into Lander, and the next morning picking up some perishable supplies. I think there's actually vegetables in the bag, but I'm not sure. Yeah, the first 2 boxes definitely perished. So after our little shopping trip at like day 5, we hiked back up on in and got to camp. And actually it was really good. We had gotten some new fresh, some eggs and some fresh vegetables. And just enjoying camp life while we had a little bit of funky weather. So we ended up on day 6, heading all the way up towards the Upper Cathedral Lakes, which is a beautiful place to explore, and you can see some amazing granite. Most of these faces are unclimbed at this point, which is just wild to think about, but just beautiful place to be. And Cathedral Peak, when you get close up, that beautiful line is harder to see on this one. Looks more like a Jenga pile, but beautiful rock. So we had another rest day, and now you can see Rochelle is stoked. She's like, I got the fly cast down. I mean, that's a beautiful fly cast, but she's still not catching fish. She's like, you said I would catch fish. And so she's like, this fly casting, I need a new strategy. So she developed this strategy that I thought was amazing. She would get her flies tangled up in trees, and you could see the trout right down there at the shore, and they're all looking up at her and go, man, that girl needs a break. And so I think they eventually just said, man, we feel sorry for her. Let's just hit that fly. And she ended up catching a great trout, and fishing was successful. And then she sent them back. One of the great pleasures of putting up a new route is coming back down, kind of like resetting, and then going up and enjoying it, but without all the stuff you're doing to place bolts and to figure things out. You just go up and enjoy it. And so on the day before our trip was over, we just headed up with one rope, a single rack, a few draws, and climbed the route that we had established that week. Just fun, steep, friction climbing, and an amazing backdrop to enjoy, looking back towards Smith Lake and Cathedral Peak. And then one of the nice things about this is being able to just rappel the route with a single rope, easily get back down safe and sound, and head back to camp. And so our buttress is kind of this fun little low-angle thing over here, winding up through this roof all the way up to this point. But for those in the audience with a hunger for granite, woo-hoo, just saying, might have to go back to the Wind Rivers. So on our last day, it was great. You just pack everything up, leave it in a pile of bags by the side of the trail for the horse packer wrangler to pick up, and then we just hiked out, fishing our way on out, and then hiking back out to civilization. And having spent a wonderful week, and we ended up naming the climb pretty much that summed up how our week was there in the Wind Rivers, a Wind River romp. It was wonderful. So kind of the last climb of last year to wrap everything up, heading in here in the Eastern Sierra with my buddy Todd Offenbacher. A couple of years ago, grab the little pointer here, a couple of years ago, again with a buddy here in the audience, my buddy Aaron Zanto, we had put up a nice route right up this direct face on what's called the Green Gendarme. It's literally an hour and a half from the trailhead. Beautiful, unique feature. But I had kind of, like while we were climbing that, I'd kind of scouted this area off to the left and thought it was going to be an ideal place for maybe another pleasure route. So, yeah, so hiking in with Offenbacher, and he's all about pleasure routes, by the way. And it's also nice. This was on October 1st that we went in there. It was also nice because the creek levels were down. It was easy hiking. Nobody was out there. The fall colors were popping, but it was a little bit cold. And we got to the base of the route, and Todd had drawn the first pitch, and he's kind of sitting there, not doing anything. I'm like, dude, are you all right? You know, what's up? He goes like, man, I usually on new routes, I like to sit here and meditate, do a little Tibetan chanting for a half hour. I'm like, dude, you're just waiting for the sun to hit the rock. He goes, how'd you know? So anyway, you know, there's always ways you can stall. It's like, oh yeah, I usually rack on the right, but today I'm going to rack on the left. No, maybe the right. But eventually the sun hits a rock and you're like, time to go. And this route unfolded beautifully. Almost every pitch was consistently in the 5.8, 5.9 range, which is like the perfect pleasure range. We established it so it was well protected, but still very intriguing. Nice little corners and features. And looking on up here towards the summit of the Green Gendarme. So one of the cruxes of the whole thing was this huge roof that kind of went across the entire formation. Our previous route had skirted the right side, but there was really no way to go up the center. And so we're like, how do we get through this? And it turned out to be this great little thing that unfolded where it was just a series of beautiful underclings and liebacks through gorgeous rock, steep, 5.9, great climbing that basically got us through the overhang and into open territory of face climbing towards the summit. all in that 5'8", 5'9" range. Up near the top, it got a little bit scrappier. You could kind of see the green where the formation got its name, the green gendarme. Very unique color granite for the Sierra Nevada. And then finally, after 9 pitches of beautiful climbing, reaching the top on a beautiful fall day in the Sierra. And one of the definitions, at least in my mind, of what I call a pleasure route is being able to get to the summit after a great climb and be able to rappel the route with one rope without a lot of trickery. And that's how we set it up, although I don't know if you could kind of see here with his rope, you definitely want to knot the ends of the rope. That's how close you get to the end to get to that first anchor point. So knot the ends of your rope all the time. That's the one lesson here for tonight. And we ended up having a beautiful climb here. 9 pitches, like I said, a consistent grade, good fun. It ended up being such a good climb that Offenbacher went back like 2 weeks later and climbed it with another buddy. He's like, man, that's great. Those guys that did the first ascent knew what they were doing. So anyway, so we went from 2005 to present, and just as kind of a quick recap, in my life of climbing, I started climbing in 1972, and every year has been wonderful. There's never been a year where I took a break or decided climbing wasn't for me. It's just been something that's been integral, sharing it with amazing friends. This is with Bean Bowers. We did the first one-day all-free ascent of all along the Watchtower in the Bugaboos. 2007, climbing Trango Tower with my best friend here, Todd Burks, right here in the audience, along with Jimmy Barnes. Here we are with a storm coming in, free climbing at 20,000 feet in Pakistan. And it's like, yeah! Those are the friends you want to have on these kind of expeditions. Woo! Heading up to other beautiful parts of the world, southern Greenland, climbing it with great friends, Danica, Gilbert, Jimmy, and Sarah Surrett, putting up new routes down there on an island that had been rarely visited, and then coming into some beautiful areas in the Tazermut Fjord. And Baffin Island with my buddy Reuben Shelton. This was in 2013. After climbing Mount Asgard that you see in the background, amazing free climb. We went on to do an all-free route on Mount Loki, summiting on a day in one of the more inhospitable parts of the world when there was not a breath of wind. Amazing. So I've had my share of good luck, but it hasn't always been blue skies and calm winds. In 2015, again with my buddy Brandon here in the audience and a couple other characters, Chris and Reuben, we went to the northernmost part of India, into the Gangotri, and tried to climb the west pillar of Bhagirati 3 here, which is basically like a huge ice climb up to El Capitan with an alpine climb on top of it. And every day would look something like this in the morning, and we're like, looks good, we got it. By noon, we would reach our high point, and this was what it would look like. By the way, somewhere under the snow, right by his feet, there is a chalk bag and a set of TC Pros waiting to be put on. Not good at all. But you make up for those miserable times with climbing adventures like I had in Sardinia with my buddy Andrew Osterreicher here, where the Gangotri is like far away in your back rear view mirror, climbing like spires like the Goloritsi Spire here, limestone, beautiful climbing in this beautiful Mediterranean setting, or just staying close to home here in our Sierra Nevada, the Range of Light, which is like my favorite place on earth, no doubt about it. This is actually Angel Wings, and again with Brandon and Peter, establishing a beautiful free climb. I think it was like 17 pitches that we called the Valkyrie. Gorgeous, gorgeous adventure. So times have changed, right, from 2005 to today, no doubt about it. But I've got to say, for me personally, throughout everything, from the first time I've climbed, the one thing that has stayed consistent, that I love, is just that joy of climbing, being in the vertical world, whether I'm climbing up or skiing down, and sharing it with people and friends that have become lifelong friends and partners. And there's no doubt about it, and everyone in the audience here knows how it goes. There's no getting around it. We get older, we slow down, but the passion remains in my life. And the saying that I like to keep in the front of my mind is, find a path that excites your heart and follow it to the end. And that's my plan, to follow that road for as long as possible. Thank you.
Come on, y'all, let's hear it for Dave Nettle. Thank you for 20 years. We'll see you back in December of 26. Pray for snow.